He's sweeping the mess as he makes it. It's going to snow again.
He was super heated yesterday and we were over there working. And you guys were stepping in the dirt. Get the bird.
Who is he?
That guy?
Yeah.
Comes up here tonight with his toothbrush and scrubs the floor.
Morning, folks. So today we are going to use that 8700 Claas combine behind me. The demo machine, we are going to, I think, run some corn and then switch it to beans if it's dry enough. It's going to be very weather dependent. Right now, Dad is working on his header for his 740 Claas. He broke a cable on the header that controls the header control, and he's trying to get that fixed. He's got the parts for it. I'm going back here to dig some conduit. I think BJ is going to do something on one of the grain bins, and Jeff's coming here in a little bit. But yeah, we got some tasks we're going to do this morning, and then we're going to get to harvesting. So yesterday I only did 280 feet, but it's all piped in, just ready to be covered up. Today we're going to get going. We got about 500 more feet to the next transformer. I'd like to get that trenched in this morning. Total, there's about 1,500 feet of conduit we gotta lay. 4,000 feet of water line, but I'm just trying to work on it in the morning, so I don't know when we're gonna get done. Made it to the transformer. That's all we're gonna get done on this today. And then we'll come in tomorrow and put the pipe in. Hopefully tomorrow I can get Dad to maybe run this thing while I glue pipe down. Say we just knocked out about 600 feet of trenching is my guess, and that took 2 hours. So I don't know if that's fast for trenching or slow. It seems very slow to me, but trenching's not a super fast job. It's just very slow. Let's drive down here. Looks like Dad is unhooking the 8700 from the corn head. So that is a folding corn head, but we do not have a fold switch in that demo combine. So we're going to, trailer our corn head over there to the next field. No big deal. Obviously, if we were to buy that machine or a Claas machine, we would have a fold switch, but we don't have one in that demo. Looks like they're still putting it on the trailer. Looks like they might be having some issues. So right now, Dad is folding up the yellow head because that header cart needs a lot of adjustment to fit that head, and we're not moving very far, so he's going to take it with that yellow combine, unfold it when he gets there, and then we're going to bring the green one. It makes sense if you don't think about it. I guess we're saddling up. I'm moving this one. This will be a treat. Never moved tracks before. They say they ride wonderful. We'll see. Got to move our non-power ladder. Like we're stuck in 1986. This kind of sucks. This combine runs 25 miles an hour. Dad's runs 18. So first impressions of driving this machine on the road, really like the track system. The track system it feels more steady on the road than one of our dual machines. I've driven a lot of combines of different manufacturers. Haven't driven a lot on tracks. Basically an ideal in this are the only machines I've ever driven on tracks on the road that are a combine. This is by far the best ride on the road that I've ever experienced. These tracks in general seem to ride really, really well. I really like those. And it's pretty nice not being as wide. So like we don't fit in one lane, but we don't take up the whole road like Dad. So the dual machines, like that's almost 18 feet wide. It's like 17.6, 17.9, somewhere in there. This one, we're probably, I'd say 16. Wide, but not nearly as wide. So we're gonna run these beans while we're here with this combine, with the Convio Claas draper head. But first we're gonna run a little bit of corn. It's still pretty wet. This afternoon or first thing in the morning or sometime in the next 24 to 40 hours, we're gonna run these. Now this combine is not a long-term seasonal demo or anything like that. This is a dealer demo, so we don't have it for a very long amount of time, but we were gonna try it in beans. We're pretty interested in a, like if we did go with one big combine and we went with a Claas, we're pretty interested in what their draper head, how it runs. Dad has liked it since he first seen it, but we've never actually seen one in a field. We are also big MacDon fans, and I like the gearing off Razor. I've never seen one of those run either, but to me it looks like it combines the best of both worlds as far as the style of draper heads. But yeah, if we can see this thing run, and it does a good job, and it's priced right with the combine. There are some certain advantages to running factory heads. For example, on this Claas machine, if we had a factory draper head and a factory corn head, all of our header settings will stay with that head. Basically, anytime you run an aftermarket head on a Claas combine, you still have to recalibrate that head every time you hook it up, which to me is kind of ridiculous. Our gleaner, you don't have to do that. That is one thing about this machine I don't know why they did not change. They changed so many things about it and made it such a nice machine, but that just seems like that would have been an easy fix. So now that we're to the field, we need to first put up our chopper. So this chopper, you can actually see it moving right there. It drops down for field position and it raises up for road position. Basically, if you were going through a steep ditch, you could drag if you didn't. And we went through an empty stream bed, so I figured we better put it up. Now, if you notice, we had to run through some beans to get here. This side of the road is not us. This side of the road is us. This is a farm lane. This isn't a public road. We were Dad kind of thought the neighbors had already done their corn, so it wasn't going to be a big of a deal. I guess we should have came over and double checked because, well, we were incorrect. We were the first ones here. So not a huge deal, but we did knock over some soybeans. Well, Dad, I kind of figured you'd just back down the road, but all right. I guess the standing beans works. We're cooking now. Dad, BJ, and Jeff, they went after a truck. Actually, they went after 3 trucks. BJ, I guess, is dragging the platform down here. I'm going to start opening up this end for them to all turn around and whatnot. This corn that we're running right now is the same stuff I was running yesterday that was just a little bit too fluffy. Yesterday I couldn't really run super fast, really not any faster than we do in our gleaner, because the corn was just breaking off. It's still doing the same thing right now. Now, I made a trip through the variety right across from us, and that's when we were going 5,000 bushels an hour, no problem. So I'm pretty anxious to get into that again, because I really want to see what this combine can do. But in this particular corn, 4 miles an hour is probably going to be it, just because we have so much stuff going into the platform, or into the feeder house. If I go much faster than that, we start building up a bunch right in front of the feeder house, and we start losing ears over the front. We don't want to do that if we don't have to, and we don't have to. It's going to be a little slower running that particular variety, but it's good corn. We're running 260 right now, so it's pretty good stuff. They're both pretty good though, whatever, the 2 varieties.
Well, sure out there they eat.
They're going 5 right now. This corn head would run better. You could probably run 6,000 bushel an hour if the variety stayed this good.
That'd be corn, there's 55.
I think we are finally moved. BJ's just getting back. Jeff's behind him. Once we got these end rows, if Dad starts running 5.5, 6 miles an hour and starts flowing 5,000 to 6,000 bushels an hour, it's gonna be all me and Jeff can do to keep up. So, need Jeff to get here and get this truck in there. So we're about a load and a half right now. Dad is corning his engine.
Right out of Claas 8700 demo, they brought one down, 87T, that tracks on it. Pretty nice machine. It'll eat the corn, but you just can't run very fast. This corn's so fluffy. Just one variety. We ran a little bit yesterday evening, same way, about 4 mile an hour, about it. After, I think maybe this round or next, get it opened up the inroads, it's different corn, and Brian did a little bit of that. He said you can move right along it. So. Pretty nice machine, quiet. Got a lot of adjustments, all automatic. Adjust everything on the go. I don't think everything's not turned on because we're having some trouble. Speed's not turned on because having trouble feeding it in. Used my old corn head off my old Lexion. So it's got some age on it. There are about 80 acres of this field. Making that around another load or so, then we're going to switch to beans here. I want to see it run beans. They brought a 40 foot's all they had. I think it's a Conveo head, a Claas head. 40 foot's all they had, so we're going to put it on, see how it does beans. I've never seen one run beans, never seen that head work, but everybody says it's a pretty nice head. So we're just trying it out, maybe someday. We're thinking about maybe buying one big machine to replace my old Lexion, the gleaner. But I don't know, just thinking, probably won't do nothing. We hear there's a new gleaner coming out next year, next fall or so. I'd like to see what it's going to be. It's going to be bigger or what, I don't know. Good corn. So far it's been 250, 225, 275. I'm sure if it averages 200, no, 220, I'll be tickled to death because there's got some droughty spots in this field. They're in the middle. Now we're down to like 183. Now it's going back up. I suppose Brian, I'm sure Brian showed you the monitor on it and all that, how it works and all that. I don't know a whole lot about it yet. Our sales rep, Jason Rogers, he just come in, so say make this around. We might switch it over, get the inroads off here. We'll probably switch it over to beans. I think they're going to be dry enough to cut. We need to work on our beans. Around the end here, this first round wasn't much. Spout on this thing is really long. It folds when it's back in the transport. It's for like a 50-foot head, and he's close to the woods there. I really can't unload on the go here. So we'll just stop. I think it holds like 585 bushels, or I don't know what it does, 580 bushels. It's a bunch. I know about two dumps on the carts, just about 1,000 bushels, a little more. So if you're dumping on the go twice, I don't think the cart would hold it. We get in the long rows, we might get some of it and try it, but I don't know. We'll probably do beans. Empties out fast, like 5.1 a bushel a second or something. And when you shut it off, the big auger shuts off, or the inside the drain tank, the augers shut off, and it cleans out the big auger. Kind of nice. Not all coming in. Maybe not quite as good corn, some of it, but run a lot better. Run about where you're gonna run. Nice machine, nice machine. Oh my God, until Brian told me what he told the price was, well, I had a heart attack. So I think I'm about ready to park it here. I don't want to break it. I sure can't afford to buy it. Yeah, this is a nice machine, boy. You want to have a lot more acres than what we got to pay for something like this.
So right now the plan is that we're going to run corn for just a little bit longer. I mean, we've cranked out several bushels already, and we've only been going for a couple hours. But we only had so many demo hours on that machine. Like I say, this is not a factory or seasonal demo. This is a dealer demo because they're actively trying to sell us that machine. They were doing a good job till they told me the price. Whew! Anyways, we're going to try it in beans, so we want to save some hours for beans. I don't know if the beans are cuttable today. They might still be a little wetter. I don't know. Basically, if they're too wet, we're going to bring the gleaner down here and keep running corn. And if they will run, we're going to run beans. So that's the plan. We're going to run a couple loads. BJ's going to get some seat time in it. I don't think he's ran it yet. And like I was telling him, like if we end up buying that combine, we're going to have it for quite a while, as much as it costs. So he better get some seat time in it. Make sure he likes it too. That machine lists for right around 7 digits. That's a list price. In the ag world, there's a big difference between list and sale, but wow, I couldn't believe it when he told me that. So people talk about X9s being $1 million combines. Turns out big Claases are too, and they make 2 combines bigger than that one. So that's a class 9, they make a class 11. I don't think the 11's available in North America, but the 10 is. And wow. Whew. It's an impressive machine, but wow. Looks like one of the neighbors is running. Another one bites the dust. That rain did one good thing. Got all the weed up and out of the ground. Looks pretty good. Turning green. Sounds like that cartload is it for corn for now. Then we're going to try some beans. Hard or soft?
Soft.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just the way they're going to be here.
Shell easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they feel soft.
Oh my.
Feel like 15, 16.
I was saying more than that, maybe.
Well,
Well,
you've maxed out your combine seat time for the year. What'd you
no
think?
doubt. I've got like 45 minutes for the season.
What'd you think?
It's kind of weird going 5.5 miles an hour.
Did you feel like Ricky Bobby? I want to go fast.
I did. Had a mountain lion and faster seat.
What'd you think? Hey, did you know there's a refrigerator in there for your snacks?
You were sitting on it.
Dad is going to truck for a little bit, and I guess let me get some more seat time in that combine. And I'm not going to argue. Man, that thing's huge. Smile for the camera.
Go around levee before it gets dark.
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will be your pilot for the rest of the evening. So the beans were a bit too mushy. Not going to run. So we're going to finish this cornfield tonight. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're going to basically hook that head up, run a load with it. More than anything, obviously we want to try the combine, but we really want to try that head. I don't think this combine is going to have any trouble at all pushing a 40-foot head. I mean, it's going to probably just be silly to use it on it. I mean, no issue whatsoever. I want to try that head, though, like that style of Draper head. Like it's nothing. I think we can go faster. Holy cow. We are moving some grain now. So I've got my cruise set at 5.6 miles an hour. This field fluctuates anywhere between 280 to 160, just depending on the location of the field. When we get up here, I'll show you what I mean. There's just lots of dips and gravel bars, and low spots and high spots. And it's all over the place, but this combine is just, it's impressive. Now we are running some returns. One cool thing about a Claas, you can see those right there. We're not plugging, but we are running a little higher on returns than I was expecting. But I mean, we're moving. Like, we are getting some corn acres knocked out. So right now we have 30 acres in this big field left. Right beside this big field, we have a 4-acre field that we should probably put in the crep program because it's just a massive pain in the butt. Basically, the deer absolutely love it. I'm actually going to fold my auger around because this is just a tight spot. Tight spot, Clark. Show you guys what I'm talking about. Yeah, so you can get a 40-foot head through here. This will definitely go through here. One thing I love about Claas combines is how high you can raise the header on one. You can go through some pretty gnarly places, over some stumps and through the woods. One thing we got to keep in mind though is watch out for low-hanging tree limbs, because we've got basically a grain bin on top. Got the river right there. Lots of Johnson grass because, well, the planter won't fit in here because the field tapers down. And we can't spray it. Spray drone would be pretty cool. I'll be so glad when this little field is over. Just turning and turning and turning. Doesn't matter how big your combine is here. That's not true. If you had a 2-row combine, it would take longer. But what I'm saying is the 12-row, it's not like I'm getting up to 5 miles an hour in these little tiny rows. Corn's not real good either. Yeah, that's over. All right, back to this field. Let's get our lights on. There we go. There we go. Go, Bubby. A little bit faster. A little bit faster. I have the need for speed. Let's move. Not too fast. So I got my cruise set. We're going 5.5. We're gonna have to take over manually and get her up to 6, I guess. Slingshot engaged. 6.3. Let's go. Let's get it. So right now, according to our monitor, we're probably averaging around 5,000 bushels an hour. I just set a timer. Let's see what we can run in an hour. So the flow that we're seeing on the monitor, that's a theoretical flow of bushels an hour. That would be if we never changed directions. Basically, if we drove one direction, never had to stop to unload, that's how many bushels an hour we would do. I don't know of anywhere where we're going to drive for 1 hour straight with a 12-row corn head in a 500 bushel grain. I don't know that exists. So nowhere around here, that's for sure. So let's see what we can actually do. I like that camera. That is awesome. Extremely useful.
You guys have been riding around in the cab of this tractor all day, and I completely forgot I had you. Here we are down to the last 6 or 8 acres of the night. Just happened to look over and see the camera hanging there. Cruising along beside this 8700, and it's a little different catching corn coming off of a Class 9 machine. Main difference is I'm going a heck of a lot faster than I normally do.
So we hit our 1 hour. We did 4,200 bushel. Now that's not like the rated, like that's how many bushels per hour we actually harvested. We harvested 4 semis in 1 hour. Like I said, there's a big difference between theoretical and actual. For example, I was just talking to the master pipe layer, who I know runs a 790, also a New Holland, also a 690. He runs a lot of combines. And I asked him what his theoretical was on those, and then I asked him what his actual was. He says he probably averages 3,800 with a 16-row, like actual bushels leaving the field. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now he's running a much more reasonable speed. 6 miles an hour is fast. There's a lot of corn moving at 6 miles an hour. That'd be the benefit of going to a 16-row head. If we went with something like this, you could actually run slower. Now we will not do that until or unless we changed corn planters, because A 12 row or a 24 row corn planter and a 12 row corn head match up perfect. And we like to do side by sides and comparisons, and basically if we went to a 16 row, that'd make that very difficult to do, like 12 and 12, like filling the planter up, half of it with one variety, half of it with another. Very difficult to do that with a 16 row. Yeah, we are moving some corn. I think it's safe to say that we all really like this combine, other than its price. But one thing to keep in mind, and like I said this in the New Holland demo video, when you're running a demo machine, I think you just have a bias to like it, personally. At least I do. I mean, it's new, it's exciting. Like, I mean, this thing is just a corny animal, and it's really hard not to like it. But I try to remember that whenever I'm, you know, kind of giving my opinion on a demo combine. Like, I mean, I really like this combine. That said, you know, have it for 100 hours and a gearbox goes out of it, I'm sure it'll get MF'd a few times. Everything's peachy on the first date. I really appreciate that all fall, the row that keeps plugging up on the corn planter is the one for the row feeler. Same thing happened last week with the cleaner. Yeah, that's a wrap. I wonder if I lock it and take the key, if they'll have a backup key and they'll still take the combine. A little chilly. I think we might have busted the bin. She might be full, Clark. Can't get a Class 9 combine. Bins can't keep up. Well, folks, thanks for watching. Today was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed running that combine in some corn. Hopefully tomorrow we can try that thing out in beans. But thanks for watching. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed the video, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, drop us a comment, and we'll see you in the next one.